Yesterday, we have finished reading this, the proper use of wealth. Today, we are going to continue with this sutta, a family man's happiness. The Blessed One said to the householder Anathapindika, there are householders, these four kinds of happiness which may be achieved by a layperson who enjoys sensual pleasures, depending on time and occasion. What for? The happiness of possession, the happiness of enjoyment, the happiness of freedom from debt, and the happiness of blamelessness. And what householder is the happiness of possession? Here, a family man possesses wealth acquired by energetic striving, amassed by the strength of his arms, earned by the sweat of his brow, righteous wealth righteously gained. When he thinks, I possess wealth acquired by energetic striving, righteously gained, he experiences happiness and joy. This is called the happiness of possession. Okay, that's the first component of happiness for layperson who enjoys such sensual pleasure, depending on time and occasion. The happiness of possession, the first component. Next one, Sister Chaikwan, would you like to read?
And what householder is the happiness of enjoyment? Here, with the wealth acquired by energetic striving, amassed by the strength of his arms, earned by the sweat of his brow, righteous wealth righteously gained. A family man enjoys his wealth and does meritorious deeds. When he thinks, with the wealth acquired by energetic striving, righteously gained, I enjoy my wealth and do meritorious deeds, he experiences happiness and joy. This is called the happiness of enjoyment. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Chaikwan. Okay, so after the first one, after acquiring the wealth, the second happiness is to enjoy whatever wealth one has amassed. After acquiring this, I enjoy my wealth and do meritorious deeds. He experiences happiness and joy. This is called the happiness of enjoyment. Next one, Sister Saiken, would you like to read?
And what householder is the happiness of freedom from debt? Here, a family man is not indebted to anyone to any degree, whether small or great. When he thinks, I am not indebted to anyone to any degree, whether small or great, he experiences happiness and joy. This is called the happiness of freedom from debt. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Saiken. Happiness of freedom from debt. Okay. So in today's context, it's probably difficult, especially if you have like a house loan, a mortgage to pay. You will always have debt. So starting from student, you will have a student loan. And then after paying off your student loan, you start to get a house. For getting a house, you have to pay a monthly mortgage and debt. So maybe after you finish paying off your house loans, maybe you start to enjoy this freedom from debt. Okay, next one, Sister Aikim, would you like to close the sutta?
And what householder is the happiness of blamelessness? Here, householder, a noble disciple is endowed with blameless conduct of body, speech, and mind. And when he thinks, I'm endowed with blameless conduct of body, speech, and mind, he experiences happiness and joy. This is called the happiness of blamelessness. These householders are the four kinds of happiness that the lay person who enjoys sensual pleasure may achieve depending on time and occasion. Anuttara Nikaya 4.62. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Akim. And the last one is the happiness of blamelessness. If you are blameless conduct, if you have blameless conduct by body, speech, and mind, you're not lying, yeah? You're not killing anything, and your mind is pure, then you will have happiness of blamelessness. So these are the 4 kinds of happiness for a lay person. What are the 4 again? The first one is happiness of possession. Second one, happiness of enjoyment. Third one, freedom from debt. And last one, happiness of blamelessness. Any questions or comments for this sutta?
Brother, would the debt here also mean like repaying the kindness to our parents? Because here says not indebted to anyone to any degree. So can it be involved non-monetary as well? Or just monetary?
I mean, it's not specifically mentioned here, so I would just assume it's money. But to repaying kindness of parents is also covered in the previous suttas that we read. I would assume this just refers to the money, because repaying one's parents is not easy according to the sutta. So,
for me, I took it that way, that it will be monetary and non-monetary debts. Maybe it's because of our Chinese way of thinking, or I'm not sure, the Buddhists also might refer to in some similar way. Kindness of the people around us to some degree. A family man should also consider that as, if let's say I'm a debtless person, I don't have loans, but I'm still also indebted to many people who is helping me. So in that sense, to some degree, they have to reciprocate, you know, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, can be. Any other comments or questions?
Can I just ask, what do they mean by specific time and place?
Yeah, actually, honestly, I'm not sure as well. Yeah, depending on time and occasion. It's not elaborated in the sutta. How about others? You have a question? You have answer for this? Depending on time and occasion. Saikyang is muted.
I don't know. I think it's about the appropriate time and occasion to enjoy the sensual pleasures.
Okay, let's take appropriate time. Let's say probably more applicable in this second, happiness of enjoyment. At the right time and the right occasion, then we can enjoy our sensual pleasure. So what is the example of wrong time and wrong place? Yeah, can you think of any examples? Let's see. If you enjoy what?
That means it's something like the previous sutta. You sort of like have womanization, drunkenness. That means you spend the enjoyment on wrong thing, wrong occasion, and I suppose timing is like how do you say timing?
Maybe something like, you know, eating meat in front of vegetarian monks. They could probably be rude. Yeah.
Also mean that, say for example, let's say when, let's say, somebody passed away in your family, and then it's not a good timing to always keep on having celebration. It's like not a good timing, for example.
Yes.
I mean, recently on Mother's Day, my mother has COVID on Mother's Day.
Oh,
I don't think it was a good timing for us to celebrate when my mom is unwell. So we cancel it. Timing is wrong, even though it's a worthy day to celebrate.
mm.
For example, I think that could also mean timing. Yeah. Mm,
That's a good example.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is how we can interpret it. That's a good question, Sister Singhui. Yeah, when I read that, I was wondering too. What does it mean by time and occasion? Okay, thanks for the question. Any more comments? Okay, if not, let's probably read a few more paragraphs. Let's see how long is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we will have
Sorry,
to.
brother, can I check one more question here?
Yep.
It says blameless conduct. Blameless here refer to?
Well, for body and speech, is probably just the 5 precepts.
Hmm.
Yeah. Other definition could be if your body, speech, and mind, your conduct does not act out of defilements, then you will be blameless. So if your conduct of body, speech, and mind is motivated by the 3 poisons, greed, hatred, and delusions, these defilements, then you will not be blameless. I think the last one probably will be the hardest to do. Yeah, all of us have defilements. We desire to eat this, we desire to hang out with people, we desire to have pizza, we desire to have a nice milk tea. Yeah. This is not easy. Thanks for the question, Sister Jolie. Okay, any more? If not, let's read a few more. The women of the home. Who was it? Sister Singhui, would you like to read?
On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in the Western Park in the mansion of Megara's mother. Then Visaha, Megara's mother, approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and sat down to one side. The Blessed One then said to her, Visakha, when a woman possesses 4 qualities, she is heading for victory in the present world and is successful in this world. What for? Here, Visakha, a woman is capable at her work. She manages her domestic health. She behaves in a way that is agreeable to her husband, and she safeguards his earnings. And how is a woman capable at her work? Here, Visakha, she is skillful and diligent in regards to her husband's household chores, whether with wool or cotton. She investigates the appropriate means and is able to act and arrange everything properly. In this way, a woman is capable at her work.
Okay, thanks, Sister Singhui. Let's take a look at footnote number 6. Visakha was the Buddha's foremost female lay supporter. The eastern part was the monastery she had built for the Buddha in the eastern part of Savatthi. So Visakha, the Megara's mother. So the Buddha said to her, 4 qualities for a woman. If she possesses them, she's heading for victory in the present world and is successful in this world. What are these 4? Capable at her work, manages her domestic health, behaves in a way that is agreeable to her husband, and safeguards his earnings. The first one, capable at her work, is skillful and diligent with regards to household chores, investigate the appropriate means, and able to act and arrange everything properly. So a proper housewife. Next one, Sister Julie, would you like to read?
And how is a woman one who manages the domestic help? Here, Visakha, in regard to her husbands, the domestic helpers, slaves, servants, or workers, she knows by direct inspection what they have done and failed to do. She knows when they are sick and healthy, and she distributes to each the appropriate share of food. In this way, a woman manages the domestic help. And how does a woman behave in a way that's agreeable to her husband? Here, Visakha, a woman would not commit any misdeed that her husband would consider disagreeable, even at the cost of her life. In this way, a woman behaves in a way that's agreeable to her husband.
Thanks, Sister Julie. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, that's the second one, manages the domestic help. And the third one is behave in a way that's agreeable to her husband. And the last component of the four, and how does a woman safeguard her husband's earnings? Here, Visakha, whatever her husband brings home, whether money or grain, silver or gold, she succeeds in protecting and guarding it. And she is not a spendthrift, thief, wastrel, or squanderer of his wealth. In this way, a woman safeguards her husband's earnings. Let's take a look at this word, wastrel. A wasteful or good for nothing person. Second definition, a waif, a neglected child. Okay, so that's the fourth component. Safeguards her husband's earnings. Okay, I think we'll continue. We'll close this sutta next time. Yeah, we will continue the reading tomorrow. Any questions or comments for this sutta? Do you agree with it, or you think, no, this is outdated?
Actually, I don't think I could able to behave. Usually now is my husband manage his own and I manage my own. Rather than trying to manage, he won't like it. Hey,
Yeah.
come on, this is my money. I decide how I want to spend it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the last one, I actually heard a very good recommendation. A couple should have 4 accounts. Yeah, one is your own account, the other one is your couple's account.
Yeah.
Third one is joint account.
Yeah.
And the
Family
fourth one is
use.
like savings account. Just divide by both. Yeah. So probably one can be updated, the last one.
Yeah, but this also addressed the era during Buddha's time. What was the environment is like during those era? What the role of a woman in those community? Yeah, and I think it is also a very good example of telling us that we need to protect our spouse hard working money.
Yes.
Instead of thinking the person earn, I spend, that kind of philosophy, I mean, that's like you need to protect each other properties lah. Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Sister Jolene, for the comments. How about others? Anything to add? If not, let's do Sister Second like to do the dedication.
愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，不愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。
Till we meet again. Thanks, Sister Sakyang. Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a safe Sunday ahead. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.